Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Oldbarn Homestead. My name is Gary, and as you can see, we have just a gorgeous day going on out here. The one thing that, talking about the property and the barn and all that all these old trees are not in the best of health, and like I've mentioned this before, but you see this one here. It was in full bloom last year, but it's actually starting to bloom now, but it's kind of late blooming. You see all the rest of them are pretty well, leaves are out. I was just watching John Grimsmo's video about all the snow he got there in Canada and all the stuff in the Northeast, but this tree is gonna die. You can see the termites have gotten a hold of one whole side of it, but I just thought I'd show you what the inside of the barn. I've made some videos on this a long time ago, but I haven't made any in a while, and I know we got lots of people watching that haven't gone back and watched those old videos, and I don't blame you for that. But here is just this first section here, and when I first before the shop got built, I came down here and just threw up some shelves because I knew I would need to store some things. And in here I've got just pallets of stuff that I've gotten things in on, and these longer skids here, I shipped the big 7-foot flags out on those because a regular pallet's too small. But I built a frame on those and sort of box it in on the pallet, and that's worked the best. And that costs about 200 bucks to ship that out on truck freight. And then on this one, I've just got some steel stored in here that I'm not, that I don't use or am not currently using. And, I don't know that this is really much shelter, because everything out here is kind of rusting, because one of the issues with the barn is it sits really low in this area, and when it rains a lot, the moisture just sits in here, and so that moisture just kind of wicks in. I've got these sheets here I bought quite a long time ago that are 16 gauge hot rolled, and they've gotten quite rusty. They're still good. I could make something out of them, but I need to find a project that's needs to be rusty looking, and these would be perfect for that. And just cut them, and they're already pre-rusted, and maybe clear coat over them or whatever. But anyway, so just to kind of give you a look at the construction here, you can see these I think they're cedar trees. I don't know what they are, but they're very knotty, had a lot of limbs and stuff in them, and you can see how that's joined together there. This is over here is still intact pretty well. You'll see some other places that are in really rough shape. And this is just a lean-to that was just sort of added on after the fact. You could tell it was done, quite some years ago because of the fixtures. And I think there's a switch over here or something. I don't see it now. So we'll go look at the main part of the barn here, and you can see this old sliding door that's pretty cool, got some cool hardware on it. But the problem with all the wood here is that the barn's sitting so low, the moisture is just coming up the end grain and just wicking its way, and I don't really know how much, if any, of this is really usable. I mean, it's if you take and cut the bottom off of it and kind of prep it and treat it and seal it all up, and just use it and see what would happen with it. But so here's the inside of the barn, and I built these shelves too. These are the old feed troughs, and these are just some offcuts of various lumber. Here's some actual lumber from the barn itself that was laying around, some of these really wide boards here that are pretty cool. But this is just a big mess where I had it organized, and then I came out here and needed a piece or two out of it, and turned it all upside down, digging, you know, for what I needed in a hurry. But you'll recognize some of the stuff out here. These dollies, you know, I don't really use those on a regular basis, so I keep those out here. And these ramps that I built, and of course they're rusting up because I didn't paint them. I mentioned about the fixtures. There's a couple of more of them there. Let's see if I can zoom in. We got quite a bit of sunlight in here today, so you can see pretty well. You can see the loft up there. And this is where the buzzards hang out and shit all over the place in here. This is a piece of driftwood that the guy that was working for me part-time found and brought in. We were going to make something out of it, and it's just sitting here getting shit on. But I'm sure I can power wash that off if I ever decide to use it. This was a little chicken coop room in here, and this was a chicken coop itself, and you can see that old fridge in there. It was here when I got here, and there was nothing inside of it. But in this is just, you know, here's an old motorcycle project. Many of you guys that have followed me for a long time have seen the videos on this. If you want to see videos on it, they're on the other channel in a playlist. You can go check that out if you want to. But I got halfway through it and just never finished it, you know, like the shirt that I wear that says I never finish anything. But I've just got, you know, some, I don't know, battery charger, shovels, rakes, engine hoist, which I don't use. You know, some of you may recognize those extensions I made for the gantry crane a while back. So that's really it. You know, it's not really a lot out here. It just needs to be organized. I've gotten in a hurry bringing stuff out and just kind of throwing it and slinging it. But you know, you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but the loft is leaning over that way, and I've gotten up there before. I've shown it in a video. There's nothing up there. There's a couple of old things up there, but nothing really too interesting. Right here I'm storing some of the R panels that I had left over from the building, just keeping those up and out of the way. So this was along here, you know, the house, the old farmhouse used to be here, the people lived in, and then there was a cattle area back here. You know, you can see the trough there, but we'll walk around. It's the weeds are already growing up pretty quick, but we'll go take a look at it. This side of the barn's really falling in. It's been really nice lately. It's cool out here this morning, but the sun is out and bright, and it just, hopefully I won't step on a snake, but you can see the entry point for the cows to enter or the livestock, whatever they had, enter into there to the feed trough area to eat. But you can see this side. If it weren't for these trees over here, I think Brian Block or somebody pointed out, this thing would be collapsing. In really rough shape, but it's just a cool, you know, just a cool structure for sure. You see this tree, you know, grew up sort of through the middle of it, and one of the big limbs has fallen since I've been here. It actually fell over onto the roof, but it didn't hurt it. Here it is right here, and I was able to drag it and get it down. But you see, actually, no, that's not the one. I guess that one is not the one that fell over on it, but it's got one up on it now. So somebody said to stabilize it. I mean, I don't know if there's any stabilizing to it. It really needs to be taken down. Just showing you more of the back of it here. You can see this, I don't know if you can pick that up or not, but this area that's been dug out to hopefully let this water drain, and it has definitely worked, because this would just sit in water, and now this has got a little recess area. We just got to get it to run on off down through there. But here's the back of it. I'll walk back around and show you the front. Some of the parts that are just falling in the front of it. Still a little bit wet out here. Sorry for the shaky cam there, guys. I just was going to show you just how some of it has just, you know, separated itself from the, you see that's pulled away. Nothing feels like, you know, it's just about to tip over, even though it looks like it is. There's nothing that you can really push on too much and get it to move by hand, or getting up there and walking around in the loft. I didn't feel at all anything was you know, shaky or anything like that. So I've got a couple of little things in there, not much. My golf clubs that never get used are in there in a trash bag. Nothing really over here to speak of. Some barrels, and then again a livestock corral area in here. I came out here one day, spent 3 or 4 hours, and picked up, I don't know if you can see those totes in there, but there's about 3 or 4 of them full of just, you know, antiques and old glass and, you know, Coke bottles of the old style. I mean, just tons and tons of old artifacts that I wanted to get up and keep, you know, and when we get this thing restored and all, is use them on the inside. You know, we just put that stuff out or put it in a shadow box or something. But anyway, Curly from Australia said, hey, make a video, show the barn on the inside. And so I did that, and wanted to just share that with you guys that haven't seen it. So we'll get in here and get going. I'm going to upload this in a little while, so it's not going to be up that early because I got to get some stuff going here. All right, guys. I'll show you this real quick. Clamps Plus sent me these. Thank you for all this bubble wrap. I can definitely use that. So I'll be making a video on this. These are pretty cool toggle clamps that he makes, and just a little preview of that. Several different, 3 or 4 different styles that he has in there. He saw my clamp video I made the other day on the other channel, showing off all the clamps, and he's like, man, I got some clamps you need. And so he sent those to me to check out, and so we'll get those checked out and see what we can come up with. You see, I got a little bit of a mess. I packed up a whole bunch of stuff yesterday and got it shipped. And I got one more thing to get packed and shipped today, and then I'm going to start on a project for a YouTube viewer named Matt, and I think it's going to be a pretty cool project. I still got this one flag, $175 including shipping for anybody that wants it. I'm about to start going up on the price on this stuff, guys. In fact, I've gone on eBay and Etsy and changed all of my pricing for this stuff. I'm getting enough of it in, you know, and staying busy enough that I just needed to raise the price up to a reasonable level. Again, not trying to gouge anyone, but you know, I've seen what other people charge for some of this stuff, and I was quite a bit lower. This, I've got to look at the clear, man, how that laid out with that new paint gun that Shut Your Face Garage kept trying to tell me about. I mean, it's just really laid out nicely here. Too bad I messed this up. For some reason, I painted this metal star should be the middle one, and the front star should be blue to contrast that. So I gotta, yeah, I may just make one that's the reverse of what I normally do, so I can, you know, reuse that and just see how that turns out. But yeah, that was supposed to go in an order, and luckily I had one already made up here that I ended up shipping instead. A candy one. He thought he wanted this blue color, but he was willing to take a candy one, so I went ahead and did that. But $175 shipped. I'm still going to do this for people that watch the channel, at least for now. But at some point, I'm probably going to go on up on these, you know, a little bit. So I already sell them for $225 on eBay, including shipping. So it's already a $50 discount if you're watching my channel. And I'm not trying to sell you guys. I mean, if you want one, I just was giving you a heads up. Some people have said they do. Tom Noble wants a Chicago Cubs thing, so kind of working on him on that. I've already had another person asking me about Chicago Cubs, so I was gonna do one up anyway since they won the World Series last year. Baseball season here, spring training starting and all that. Should be a pretty hot item, so I got to get that done and get it out there. I think it's going to be a big, big seller, hopefully. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get out here and get to work, and we'll see you soon. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you stopping by. If you're interested in seeing more of what we have going on around here, take a look at the center of the screen and click there to see some of our most recent videos and most recent content. Thank you, guys. Take care.